Hey there, fictional friends, and welcome to another episode of Fully Booked. I'm Megan.
And I'm Megan. Oh, wait. I thought you said you wanted to change it up sometimes.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, we hadn't recorded in a few weeks, and we're just like really getting back into it.
Okay, and I'm Shereen.
No one knew. We have to clarify their names aren't both.
We really need to let our listeners just understand that, like, we are the human versions of Grumpy Cat and Tartar Sauce, basically.
I don't remember which one's tartar sauce.
The derpy one, the super derpy cat.
Was that its name? I don't. Oh,
I think that was. Oh no, wait, sorry, no. Tartar Sauce was Grumpy Cat's real name.
Oh,
what was the derpy one's name?
I don't remember.
Okay, never mind. But there's like a grumpy cat and then a
little one
cat.
with its tongue that used to stick out there. Yeah. No, I know who you're talking about. I don't want to think about either of those because both of them have crossed the rainbow bridge. Poor little babies.
Have they?
They have, unfortunately.
Oh, that's really sad.
I know.
Oh, Lil Bub.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you. Yes. Okay, I do remember this cat. Yeah, you're right.
Lil Bub. Yeah. So, I mean, unfortunately, they have both crossed the kitty rainbow bridge. But okay, I digress. I'm sorry. I'm already taking us off track here.
It's okay. That's not what we're talking about today, guys. I promise. We're kicking off April in general. Hello. Hi. We're kicking off a new month. And we are, we're like a quarter of the way into the year. And I kind of realized a couple of weeks ago, I was like, hey, God, we've watched a lot of adaptations in the first 3 months this year, which also to me signifies that there have been quite a few adaptations already that have come out, which I'm like, man, we're getting a lot.
Yeah, but now we're hitting a dry spell.
I think we are, but I think before the end of this year, we're still expected to get at least another 5 or 6 larger ones, let alone the series and stuff that we don't necessarily realize ourselves are based on books.
True. Yep.
Yeah. So I think we're going to get a lot more before the end of the year, but we figured we would. I think maybe we should do this. I don't know if you agree, Shereen, but I feel like we should do this maybe 2 or 3 times a year. Just do a little mini review chat through of some of the adaptations that we've watched, but we haven't necessarily done a full scale episode about.
Oh, I agree, because I think I've come across a few and this is how we came about for this idea for this episode. We were both kind of just like, oh, did you watch this show? Yeah, I watched this show. Oh, did you know that that's based on a book? Yeah, I knew that, and I read the book, or whatever. And it's like, hey, we actually have a few of those now that we haven't spoken about on the pod.
We totally do. We do. I know. Yeah, that we've realized because we just don't have time, do we?
No, not with all these giant releases that keep coming out.
Absolutely not. No, it would be never ending. So that's what we're going to do for the first time ever. Hey, today, as we are going to just chat through just a few of I think we'll probably, what do I have, maybe 3 or 4 on this list? We'll chat through a few different series / films that have come out that are adaptations that have come out since January of this year, and just chat through them a little bit, kind of what they are, what they're about, what they're based on, and maybe just a quick mini little, a review of them in some capacity, what we liked about them kind of thing.
Sure.
Nice. Okay. Do we want to do a what's on our nightstand before we get started?
Yeah, we can do.
Woo. I feel like it's been ages.
Yeah. Okay, I know what it is.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm actually reading an ARC.
Yay.
That will be dropping, I think it's May 19th or May 13th.
Okay.
It's called Not All Dragons by David Lee. And it's basically my understanding is this is a debut novel of his. And it's actually a very different take on dragons. So the main character, he kind of wakes up in a strange land, doesn't know what's going on. He's got a wound on his back. He keeps talking about these 2 wounds, and he can't move his muscles properly. For all intents and purposes, you're left assuming he's a man. And it's kind of unclear at the beginning what's going on, but he wakes up, he's injured. It then becomes clear that he's been attacked by some type of werewolf creature-y type thing.
Huh.
And he's ended up in this place with a mermaid speaking to him. And so this mermaid kind of thinks that there's something very peculiar going on with him. She can smell that there's magic on him. And she thinks that it's like a type of like mermish magic, but she can't quite put her finger on it. And he has lost all of his memories. He doesn't know who he is, how he got here, what happened. He just knows that like he's in this like magical place all of a sudden. And I'm left to believe that he wasn't from a magical place to begin with. And he's just got this like wound on his back. He doesn't know what's going on. And so he starts following this mermaid because she's like, I will take you to such and such a person who can probably tell you what's going on, because he's dabbled in this type of magic before. And so it's becoming apparent as like they're kind of going along that this world that they're in, it has been affected by some sort of I don't know, disease, plague, post-apocalyptic something or other. I don't know exactly what it is, but basically the land is like dying, like it's been like poisoned kind of, and the magic is disappearing.
It's a crazy combination of stuff.
Yeah, they call it the unraveling. Anyway, it's only like 300 pages long, so I'm like, wow, like we're doing big world building for like a wee little book here.
Oh my goodness. So I wonder if there's going to be more than one of these. That sounds wild.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Like so far it's like it's a lot about like obviously search for identity and whatnot. But and they've alluded to a mention about dragons and like these what do they call them? Like lightning serpents or something. And so like I'm like, it's obviously like dragons from the sky or something. And like he's probably one of them is my assumption. But anyway, so far I'm kind of trucking through. But anyway, I have like this whole other like not soapbox, but like whole thing that I need to like get off my chest and talk to you about. But I don't know if this is the episode for it.
Okay. Do we want to allude to it, and then we could maybe just, figure out a time and place?
I guess I could bundle it up with I have fantasy fatigue, and I think I might be breaking up with the genre a little bit, unless I can like find something that's going to get me anchored back into it, because I'm just like, ugh.
Gasp. Wow.
I know.
That's a big deal for anybody who's listened for a while now.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
Avatar 6.
Okay, but you're going to have to wait a while for that. But I guess as somebody who genre hops pretty consistently between reads, none of this is surprising to me. I'm just kind of like, yep.
Yeah,
would be the same if I were going through this as well.
I guess so. I guess I'm just at the point in my life where I'm just like, I want to keep the momentum going on my reading. And I think I've realized that I just can't read fantasy all the time if that's what I'm trying to do, because it requires a lot of time and energy that I just don't really have these days, Yep. Also, if I were to draw a graph of my reading trends, I feel like April is like where I hit like dry spell until June.
Okay, you have a tendency to hit like a weird little lull.
Yeah, in April.
Interesting.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, we get busy with stuff.
That's my soapbox. We can probably talk about it on another episode of the pod.
I wonder if we should. That might be a good idea. We could definitely get into that.
What do you do when you have to break up with your favorite genre?
I think you pull a Ross and Rachel and you take a break. I think that
we were on a break.
I think that that's what you do, because I think that I don't think that you should ever tie yourself to one specific. Personally, I don't think you should ever tie yourself to one specific genre, because at some point, some aspect of it, some trope or trend within the genre will be overwhelming for you, and you will need to probably take a little bit of a step back. And I would prefer to just regularly have different things on rotation to help me not hit that kind of a breaking point with anything. And it just helps me maintain my love of everything basically all the time, which I think serves me well.
Yeah, I think the fact that I've been kind of turning more towards like thriller
Yeah.
and that kind of thing the last year or so, year and a half.
Yeah.
I think it's become apparent that like broadening my scope of genre is really good because it allows me to keep my reading momentum going
Mm.
without spiraling on a book hangover for like months and months and months, right?
Yeah, it's probably going to help you because, like, you're just going to do the same thing over and over and over
Yeah.
again. You know, like you'll finish another series and then you'll be like, fuck.
Well, that's it, you know.
Ugh.
But I'm finding myself every time I'm picking up a fantasy novel these days, I'm just kind of like, oh
Okay, I
yeah.
think the universe is trying to tell you something, but I realize that it's difficult because that is 95% of what's sitting on your bookshelves. So,
Yes, it's very problematic.
okay, so that's fine.
Anyway,
It's
okay,
time
what's on
for
your
me to metaphorically crack my knuckles and start bringing books over to get
Yes,
you
please.
out of
Yes,
it. Let's
please.
just like, I'm not going to crack them on the thing because it's weird, but I'm just going to like metaphorically crack my knuckles and like prepare myself. I have a friend who got back into reading after like a very long time, but within like the past year or so. Shout out Chantal. And was not sure of like what she kind of wanted to do and where she wanted to start. And so I started her on stuff like cozy fantasy because she used to read fantasy all the time.
Yeah.
And and like from there, she's like gotten super back into it. She's grabbed a couple of other things too, like a few other types of genres and stuff. But this way it's like eased her back in because it's like one-offs, not these huge series that she feels like she has to like barrel through. So if she's overwhelmed and stuff like that, these are just like easy, fun reads and everything. And she's doing a lot of that right now. And I think it's gone really well.
Yeah.
I just loaned her one of my previous ARCs, How to Write a Love Story. She read it in like a weekend, like, you know.
Oh yeah, no, I want to read that one that you had about the speed dating killers.
Oh my God, yes, I need to bring you that. Oh fuck, I love that book. I need to bring you that book. It's so much fun.
Yeah,
so much fun.
That one, and then maybe your love story one.
That one's so cute. That's adorable, and I think you'll just like it because it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got those and mix in a couple of other things like some of the other thrillers and some of the other stuff. I think you can probably.
I love how you're like, okay, I've been waiting for this. I got stuff. Don't worry about it. I got it.
I'm warming up. I'm prepping. I'm ready now. Woo. Okay. Woo. Nightstand. Right. Yes. So, funny enough, I'm actually currently finishing a fantasy trilogy right now. The last book of which was actually just published on March 31st. So this is the Morgan Le Fay series from Sophie Keach. So the latest book, Storms Over Camelot, was published on March 31st, and I'm going to be writing like kind of a retrospective of the full series because I've just been barreling through the entire trilogy because Penguin was kind enough to send me all three of them. So I started it from the beginning. This is fantasy. This is Arthurian folklore set. It is a retelling of the events in Camelot from the perspective of Morgan Le Fay, and focuses on her story. It is a like feminist retelling of this to do with finding one's own power and one's own voice, living and working in a world in which men are consistently trying to stifle your power that you have. There's like a huge bit of that. And it's just her entire sort of trajectory in life from childhood all the way through her time in Camelot. Post that, her alleged like treachery, and like betrayal of Arthur, and them kind of like trying to repair relationships, her relationships with other people within that, Lancelot and Guinevere, like everything to do with kind of that side of things. This is a really cool trilogy. I love Arthurian stuff. I always have. I just find them like really cool. So I'm a big fan of like that and like names that I recognize, even if I don't know all the details, like names that I recognize from, different aspects of like those sort of old tales.
Yeah.
I like the nuance of the character. I think she's great. I love the element, like the level of like flaw that she has, all that kind of stuff. It's just a cool series. And I'm almost finished with the last one right now, and things have like really picked up for this last little bit. So I'm really curious to see like how everything wraps up. And honestly, this is going to be like a pretty high ranked trilogy for me. I've really enjoyed it. I think it's been great. And then between that, I hopped into a little novella for fun because it was not very long. It was about 200 pages or something, and really easy to get through. Because again, I like to take teeny tiny breaks in my stuff.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah. So I hopped into a little horror novella that I'd been wanting to read called Guillotine by Delilah S. Dawson. It's very short. very easy to get through. Follows a young woman who is an aspiring fashion designer in the South. I think it's set in Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. She is really ambitious and very determined to work for a high fashion magazine. And she is determined to meet this particular woman who is like the editor or the owner of a specific magazine, and wants to meet her and work with her and get a foot in the door. And in order to do so, she starts dating her douchebaggy son to like find like a way to kind of get in. And these are like rich Southerners, like they own their own, they own an island kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
And so he brings her to a family weekend or whatever on this island. And I'm not going to give anything else away. But things get fucked up really fast. I grabbed
it
this.
Doesn't sound like a me book, but it's
a little violent for you, but it's a cool story. But I will say, like, it's the blurb that I like, the quick blurb that I read on the cover when I had been looking at this, because I had seen it on a couple of people's lists. I picked it up, and the blurb on the front literally says it is a mashup of Glass Onion and Saw. And I was like,
you're like, oh, that's right up my street.
And I said, oh, okay. So I picked that up and I got through it in like a day and a half, in like a couple of little increments. It's really fast paced. It's really gritty, but it's got a ton of social commentary in it. And it's very eat the rich. Like it's got a lot of those vibes to it. It was really
sounds like the Menu a little bit.
It definitely has. You feel the vibe, even though the story is very different. It's kind of like something along those lines. You might have hit the nail on the head. I can tell you more about it like outside of the pod, because I don't want to give anything away if people want to read it, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool, really quick read, I will say.
Nice. Yeah. Tell me all about it after.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's hop into this so that we can go through a few of these. I've mostly put these. I've weirdly mostly put these in order of release. Hey, look at me.
Oh, that's cool. Yay.
I know. I started a note a little while ago because I wanted to keep track of the ones that I've been watching.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure that I actually remembered what they were, so that when we did these episodes, I could, be able to, recall them and actually use them. Yeah. So the earliest one this year that I watched that was very popular, so I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of other people listening have watched it as well, was His and Hers on Netflix. This was I believe an 8 episode, if I'm not mistaken, 6 or 8 episode series that premiered on January 8th of 2026. It's based on Alice Feeney's 2020 novel of the same name. At base level, the series is starring Tessa Thompson and John Bernthal, and it follows a news anchor played by Tessa Thompson who returns to her small Georgian hometown a year after a very severe loss in her life to investigate the death of an old friend of hers from high school who's been killed, and also within that to confront her estranged husband, who she essentially kind of ran away from about a year prior as well. And all of the twists and turns that you can possibly think of. Now, I will say I've not read an Alice Feeney novel before, but if this is kind of as twisty and as crazy as her stuff gets, I might be interested in picking a couple of them up. I'm not going to lie. This was a really well-made series.
You know what? It's so funny. Like this is like where you and I are so like different. So you mentioned this when we were prepping for this episode, and I'm like, I am certain I watched that. So 6 episodes. I watched all 6 of them.
Yeah.
Could not tell you what the hell happened in this show. Could not tell you. I watched it with my husband.
Yeah.
We watched all 6 episodes probably in the space of like 2 days because it was so twisty turny.
Oh yeah, it's wily.
I'm like, I just immediately deleted it from my brain as soon as I finished watching it. I'm like, okay, we're done. Never mind. Bye.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what my beef is with this thing. I have no idea, but my brain just promptly was like, no, we don't need that anymore. Bye.
I wonder if there's something to do with a couple of the things that happen to them family-wise that for you, I think might have triggered you a little bit.
I think that's probably what happened.
I don't want to give anything away if people haven't actually watched it. Like, we're not going to do spoilers or anything, but I wonder. Anyway.
Are we not doing spoilers? Okay.
I guess like maybe not major spoilers. I mean, unless we just want to, you know what? We can give a blanket spoiler warning. So that way I will do that
spoilers,
now. Just in case.
Be-do.
Spoilers. Thank you. Just in case, that way, you know what, if nobody can yell at me on the internet about it. Okay. So with that in mind, and with spoiler alert in mind, is it because there's a little girl who dies? Their baby dies?
I'm sure that's what it was. I think
Okay.
it was just way too close to home.
Yeah.
That I was like,
So I was like, she was quite young as well.
delete.
She was like an infant.
Oh yeah.
Right. Who
I
passes
think she
away
was
and stuff.
exactly this. I think when this show came out, she was the exact same age as my daughter.
Oh, maybe.
And I think they had said that her birthday was like in December, so around the same time as my daughter. And I was just
maybe.
like,
I don't
nope,
remember
nope,
that.
delete, nope.
You were like, I never want to think about this again.
Exactly.
Yeah. I will say, like, the performances in this were great. There were like a ton of twists and stuff. It was just like a really solid thriller. And I mean, to be fair, also I'm not too surprised. Like I will say the writing was good, but also I was like, okay, these are two like pretty heavy hitters playing the lead characters. So particularly Tessa Thompson. I really appreciate every once in a while a female lead who does not give a fuck what anybody is doing and does exactly what she wants to do. And I'm kind of like, oh, I can appreciate that. And the twist at the end of this film series is like, it's good. It's top tier. The stuff with her mom having been the one to like commit the murders and stuff like that. I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, I remember finishing watching it, and I even went and like recommended it to a bunch of people because I'm like, it was really good. Like, it was super twisty.
It is. Yeah.
The whole time you're like sitting there trying to figure out what is going on. Like, even like from the first episode, like everything is like kind of mic drop in this show. Like,
very much. Yeah.
Like when she says, I think at one point she says, yeah, that's my ex-husband or something. And you're just like, oh, what the fuck?
What the fuck? Because she like shows up and you don't know like what the connection is, except that they know each other. And then she's literally like banging her cameraman.
Yes.
And he shows up and she's just like, it's my husband. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. You're like watching it going, oh, okay.
I mean, and everything from there just gets steadily crazier, I will say.
Yeah.
So there's that. Next, this was actually a film that I saw in February called Cold Storage. It was a theatrical release. It is based on again, I did not know this until I was in the movie theater. This is based on a 2019 novel by David Koepp, who also wrote the screenplay for the film. For people who are unfamiliar with David Koepp, I can't quite tell you. I mean, he's done a lot of directing, but I believe that the heavy hitting that he's done is in the screenwriting space. Like, I'm talking like he wrote the screenplay for Jurassic Park. Like,
oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's like a big deal. And he has written a ton of pretty huge, like blockbustery, especially screenplays over the years of like very, very big films.
Wow.
And he's also
like
done
some Jurassic Park.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. He wrote the screenplay for Jurassic Park, the original film.
Wow.
Among, if I'm not mistaken, like other stuff as well. Hang on, actually, this is going to bother me now. I'm going to look at it. Apparently, he's considered the fourth most successful screenwriter of all time in terms of box office returns, with a gross of over $2.97 billion.
Wow.
Yeah. So he wrote the original Jurassic Park, the second novel, the second movie, Lost World, Jurassic Park, which was in like 1997, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull,
okay,
the original Mission Impossible film, first Mission Impossible movie, Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit. He also worked on the screenplay for the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie from 2002.
Wow.
He's done like the Jurassic World stuff since then and everything like that. He did like the latest, what's it called? He did the latest Indiana Jones films, all of like a ton of them. Wow. He's done like a ton of shit like that. Stir of Echoes, Secret Window. Oh yeah. So like a lot of stuff. He is a really big deal, especially in the screenwriting world, and he has done a little bit of directing as well.
Cool. So he wrote the book and then he wrote the screenplay for it?
For this, yes, exactly. So Cold Storage is a novel that he published in 2019. I think it's only I think he's only written 2 books, if I'm not mistaken, like actual novels. This is one of them. This is
Come on, David.
Come on, David, get to it. So this film stars Georgina Campbell and Joe Keery and Liam Neeson, as well as a couple of other people who are kind of well known as well in smaller bits. It is a sci-fi horror comedy mashup.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's basically Georgina Campbell and Joe Keery play 2 night shift employees at a cold storage facility who they discover a sub basement, and on an overnight shift, they discover a sub basement because this facility is a defunct military facility of some sort. And in the sub basement, there is like a freezer locker that has perforated over the years, and because it's been like decades since this place was closed, and it contained basically what was discovered decades prior, which was a very deadly fungus. The fungus begins to spread and infect anybody who comes into contact with it.
Oh, no.
Near the cold storage facility, animals, people, etc., very easily. Like, it's very transmissible. And so they, along with Liam Neeson, who plays a former member of the military who was part of the original operation that discovered this fungus in the first place, they have to stop the spread before it basically leaves the facility and winds up going somewhere else, pretty much, like winds up anywhere else, pretty much. So it's a mashup of a bunch of different stuff. It's funny. Like, it's just like light and silly. It doesn't take itself very seriously. Like, I don't know if the book is more serious. The movie does not take itself very seriously, but it's just like fun, you know? Like, it's nothing groundbreaking, but it was just like a fun movie. Like, I enjoyed it. The characters were fun. It's a little cutesy sometimes, and you're like, it's a bit dumb, but like the laughs are pretty good. The chemistry between the characters is pretty good. So, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I've just texted my husband to ask him if he's watched it, because it actually sounds fun. It sounds like I might enjoy it.
I think it would be like a fun, easy thing for you guys to watch.
Yeah. Okay, we'll add it to the list. That sounds fun. Hang on, he's responded. He says no, he has not watched it. So I guess we will be watching that.
Then you guys can watch that. Okay, so the next one that I do have on the list, which I think you might want to take the reins on because you've seen it all the way through and I have not, is 56 Days, which was released on Prime Video on February 18th. It's based on the 2021 novel by Catherine Ryan Howard, and it's starring Dove Cameron and Avon Jogia. I'm sorry, I'm not 100% sure of how you pronounce his last name.
Not sure. Dove Cameron was... I just couldn't... I think I haven't seen her in a lot of things, so I just couldn't get past the fact that she just looks like a human cat.
Or that she's Dove Cameron, and you're like, oh, I'm... Okay. You know, she looks like a fairy.
She looks like a fairy or a cat. Like, very, very feline.
Yes, oh my God.
But like fascinatingly so. And like so tight. Like her waist is so tiny.
She's very itty bitty. This is a show that's like an erotic thriller that I think tried really hard to lean into the eroticism, and I was just kind of like, ooh.
And I wish they had almost leaned away from it because it kind of didn't really hit the mark the way they were hoping it would.
No, because it's part like detective procedural because there's a dead body found and detectives are trying to figure out who the person is exactly and how they died and all that kind of jazz, and then we're retracing things back by 56 days prior when the two of them like the couple meets. Basically, it's like a whole thing.
Yeah, so basically the story, so spoilers because
we did
I've watched the whole thing, and then I went and I looked online to see what the comparison was of the book versus the show.
Yeah, you were telling me it's really different, eh?
It's totally different, completely different. So so spoilers. So basically, the couple, they meet each other. You know, you're kind of thinking that it's by chance, but by the end of the first episode, you realize that you think that she's a con artist. She's not. So basically, the story is that her brother was killed, or so you think that it was her brother who was killed. So these boys, 3 boys, I believe it was 3 or 4 of them, they kill another boy when they're teenagers. Her brother ends up going to prison for the murder, but it was actually the other main character. I can't remember what his name is in the show, but because he's from a really, really wealthy family, he gets off scot-free, basically. Like, his family blames it on her brother, and they're like kind of trailer trashy. Like, they're portrayed that way. Like, they're very poor. They don't have a lot of resources, a lot of recourse. And so her brother ends up dying by suicide in prison because he's basically convinced to kill himself.
Okay.
By I think it's, oh, that's right, it's the therapist. So this guy's therapist,
Oh, right. And is it Oliver?
Oliver, that's his name.
It's
So
Oliver,
Oliver's
yeah.
therapist,
Mm-hmm.
I think his name is Dan.
Ah.
Like my husband. So his
It's okay.
therapist,
Dove Cameron's character is using an alias, and her actual name is Megan
yeah,
because
that's
her
right.
sister calls her and calls her Megan, and I'm like, that's weird.
That's weird. Yeah. So this therapist goes and convinces him to kill himself because I think he says that then the family won't, like, I can't remember what the reasoning is, but he convinces the brother to end his own life.
Okay.
And so her going to meet Oliver is like an entire like revenge plot, basically.
Yeah.
It's under the guise of her trying to go get money from him because he's like a bazillionaire, basically. And her mom is like an alcoholic, and she's like fallen into basically like psychosis almost from her grief. And her sister is kind of left holding the bag, like her and her sister. And so in the book, the body in the bathtub is Oliver. So her whole thing is that she's going to kill Oliver because of what he did.
Right.
And she does in the book.
Okay.
Do you want to know what happens in the show?
Tell me what happens in the show.
She falls in love with Oliver. They live happily ever after, and together they murder his therapist, and he's the body in the bathtub.
Oh, it's the therapist.
And the show ends on a desert island with them just being bazillionaires with their baby and living happily ever after. I'm like, this would never happen. And
no,
like
she would have murdered him.
Correct. And the whole subplot with the detectives, the female detective who, like, it took me a hot minute to recognize her.
She's from what's it called? How to Get Away with Murder. Yeah.
Laurel Castillo in
Laurel,
the show.
that's it. Yeah.
But in this, she's kind of, both of the detectives are kind of down and out. The subplot is that she's I don't know if she's taking drugs or something. I think she is, and she's like banging her drug dealer or whatever.
Oh, yes.
And he's a jackass who starts threatening her and whatnot. So basically they plant his necklace at the crime scene, and then they get him arrested for the murder. And I'm like, this would never happen because the whole rationale is that some like other detective sees his mugshot and he's wearing this necklace. And so he's like, oh, okay, he was the one who killed him. And there was footage of him in the building. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. So the book, I think the book was probably better. I think the show, they probably went a little too far with the twistiness. Like, it would have been fine if it had just been Oliver in the bathtub, you know?
Genuinely, yes, because they were making it seem like it was a woman, obviously. So you're like, oh, is it her who's in the bathtub and blah, blah, blah. And then the twist could have been that it's him and she killed him and she took his money. And I would have been like, yeah, okay.
Well, like the whole time I was watching it, I'm like, it's either her or him. It's either her or him. And then at one point, it kind of dawned on me, and I said to Dan, I'm like, you watch, it's the therapist, and that's who it was.
Ugh. Okay, that is a bit shitty. I think so. And I thought the book was like set in Ireland or something. Like it's
It's
not set in North America at all, because they've set it in Boston, even though it was definitely filmed in Montreal. Holy shit, it was so obvious. Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just I couldn't keep interest with this one.
Yeah, and I was like half tempted to read the book, and then when I saw how different the two were, I was just kind of like, eh.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
And then the last one that I have on the list, which is maybe a little bit of a cheat to a degree, sorry, because it's based on a play, which again, did not know this, is Forbidden Fruits, which was just released theatrically on March 27th. It is based on a stage play, which is called, it's a long title, sorry, Of the Woman Came the Beginning of Sin, and Through Her We All Die.
Oh, wow.
Which I'm like, that sounds like a play I would have gone to see. But anyway.
Definitely.
Yeah. It was a play, I believe, that premiered in New York in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So,
and is it like a modern day set play, or is it like old fashioned?
No, I believe it's a modern day set one, as far as I know. I mean, so is the film, obviously, but it seems to be a modern day set one. This film is so much fun. This is like if you took, I told you this already, but this is like if you took The Craft and you took Mean Girls and you made a little Gen Z baby out of them. and you said it at a mall.
Yeah,
Like
this
that's
sounds
what
fantastic. I really
it's.
need like not too many spoilers on this one,
No,
selfishly, because I'm like, I
no,
really want to watch this
no.
one.
I'll just talk about like sort of like trailer wise, basically what you see, which is pretty much there are these three sort of queen bee types who work at a specific store in a mall, and they seem to like run everything basically, and they wind up welcoming a fourth girl, a young girl played by Lola Tung from The Summer I Turned Pretty,
Mm. Oh,
into
right, okay.
their group. But it's also like a mishmash where it turns out she's like, wait, hang on, like, because they're doing like rituals, and she's like, are you guys witches? And they're basically like, yeah. And then
Duh.
it's just like the whole hierarchy of it and the relationships between them and how everything kind of winds up coming crashing down. And there are specific reasons for it, which I won't go into. But it was just, the dialogue is so snappy. It was such a fun watch. It made me laugh multiple times. Lily Reinhart, who plays like the head of the Popular Girls, I've never seen her do anything better. She's so good in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And Victoria Pedretti she plays the Karen Smith, like she's the ditzy slutty one.
Okay.
She's hilarious. She's so funny. Alexandra Shipp is their other sort of third, who is kind of the straight man to a degree, but she's also extremely funny and very forthright with the way that she speaks about things. Lola Tung really holds her own, I think, with like the other three of them, but they're just like the funniest sort of, it's like the funniest, cattiest, kind of like cuntiest witch movie I've seen in a minute. And it was hilarious. I loved it. I thought it was so funny. I thought it was so funny. It'll be right up your alley. Like, it's just very funny.
Yeah, I like after you described it, I was like, I need to watch this like yesterday. I actually went to see if it was like playing at my shitty movie theater up the road. It is not. I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, I don't think it got like a huge release, although I know it did crack the top 10 like domestically in terms of like current films. So
Maybe
good for them. Yeah, and I think I think the data was showing something like 75% female audience, which I'm like, well, obviously.
Yeah.
It's very like women centric, like female heavy film.
Yeah.
But honestly, like Arthur came to see it with me and he loved it. He thought it was hilarious. So
yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. It was super fun. Would watch again. We'll literally watch it with you when I can.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, maybe we should just have like a night to watch it, because I'm like, nope, still not at my shitty movie theater.
No. We might have to wait a bit, but when it like drops on like either streaming or like video on demand or whatever, we can find it. So
oh yeah, but You, Me, and Tuscany is going to be playing at my shitty movie theater. Great.
Oh my god, is that based on a book?
Is it? Are we gonna have to go see this?
No, but hey, so my thing is, I don't know, but am I wrong? Come on.
No, nothing about a book.
Nope. Wow. I don't know. I saw the trailer and I was like, come on. Like, this reads like it really feels like it's based on a book.
It looks like one of those like shitty Netflix releases. Like, wasn't there literally a movie about this on Netflix? Like something like this, where there was like two people who rented an Italian villa and then they had to fight over.
Yes. Yeah. There's one of those with thingy from the Vampire Diaries. You know who I'm talking about, Cat Graham. Anyway.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, yeah. I'm not crazy.
No, you're not crazy. No, then that's it. They have like a mix-up thing. This one is just like the mix-up is they think I'm marrying their Italian nephew, but then his hotter cousin shows up, whatever. Things. It looks terrible.
I'm rolling my eyes so hard right now. Like, I normally love a good type of movie like this, but I feel like we're just so oversaturated with them now.
We probably are, but this is one I feel like I can just wait for this to
100%
to be on streaming. Like, I can just wait for this.
I wish that Forbidden Fruits was playing at my shitty movie theater.
I know. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, let's bring it back around. So that wraps up like round one of our little mini reviews. These were all like enjoyable in their
quarter.
These ones have all been enjoyable in their own way. I wasn't a big fan of 56 Days. I'm probably not going to finish it. I genuinely totally lost interest in it. I think I watched about 4 episodes and I was like, oh god, slog.
It took me way too long to get through something that was like interesting,
Yeah, exactly. But all the others were like super solid. So, they're fun they're all good for different reasons, I would say, depending on like what your preferences are. But I liked all of them, so yay. What are we? Oh my gosh, what are we doing next week? Oh yeah, I think next week are we going to be talking next week? I think about what sort of what are we doing?
Like our
Oh yeah, we're
favorite.
talking about our favorites. We're doing favorites next week. You see, I completely
That's
forgot.
right. We're
Yes.
doing this was like our quarter wrap up of the first round of adaptations for the year. Next week is our quarter wrap up for like
Of
our
everything.
favorites of
Of
like
just stuff
books
that we've
and
liked.
adaptations and
Yeah.
all the things
And
of the
books
things.
and whatever it is that we're doing and reading
And
and all
it's
that
good
jazz.
because like I find that sometimes we do a review of an adaptation
Yes.
and then sometimes like I think about it way more and then I have
Oh, yeah.
more thoughts about it and I'm like, I need to continue talking about this now.
Yeah. I know, I agree with you. Genuinely, I kind of feel that way too, where I'm like, I feel like I'm going to have like more things to say about some of the other stuff that we've seen and read since
Yeah.
the beginning of the year, particularly because again, we don't always get an opportunity to talk through like all of the books that we've read or things that we're doing, because some of them just kind of get lost in the shuffle of like when we're not talking about what's on our nightstand. So yeah.
Exactly. So this way we kind of get to give ourselves, instead of waiting until the end of the year,
Yeah.
we get the chance to review as we're going along.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know, maybe we just want to like talk about positive stuff. Maybe we just want to inject a little positivity for ourselves to make ourselves feel better in the current hellscape that we live in and do something fun. You
I
know?
just can't believe that we're living in this timeline.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me wonder, like, is this the best timeline? Like, is there like literal like War of the Worlds happening in the other timeline? I don't know.
Don't think about it too hard because it'll hurt your brain. But
Aw.
but while everybody ponders that until next week,
Yeah.
you can check out all of our socials. We are at Fully Booked CA everywhere. Of course, feel free to check out the website at fullybooked.ca, where all of the reviews for all of these things that we keep talking about, the arcs and stuff that we're receiving over and over and over again, are posted, as well as like any other ones that are upcoming, things that we're currently reading, some recommendations for things, some deep dives into certain topics too. If you're ever interested in that, all of that can be found over there as well. But until next week, guys, keep on reading.
Thanks, everyone.